Now I've got an interesting question here from Valerie. It looks simple, but it's actually fairly difficult, I must admit. What I have is a spreadsheet of airline flight info. So what we've got is a airport origin, an airport destination, the taxi out time at the origin, and the taxi in time at the destination, and whether there was a delay. What I'd like to do is find the average taxi out time for each origin airport, and then the average taxi in time for each destination airport. I would like then to sum them together to see which airports have the most taxi time. Right, well, this is actually a fairly complicated question, believe it or not. The problem is we want JFK to be both an airport origin and an airport destination. Now, there is a way to do this, but the way is fairly complicated, and it involves power pivot. I'll show you how to do. First of all, we have got the data. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a second copy of the data. I'll show you why in a few minutes. And then I'm going to make another thing, which is just a list of the airports, regardless of whether they are a destination or origin. So this is just a straightforward list. Now I've got these three informations. What I'm going to do, if I just move this into the middle, I want to link this airport with this airport origin, and I want to link this airport with this destination. So we've got one list, airport, connecting to two tables. Even though they're the same data, they've got to be two separate tables when they're inserted into Power Pivot. Now I'm going to create tables. I'm going to press Ctrl and L, Ctrl and L, and Ctrl and L. They would automatically be converted into tables when you put them into Power Pivot. But the advantage of doing it at this stage is I can name them much more easily. So here's your airport. I'm going to use this as the destination one, and this as the origin. So now I'm going to insert them into the data table. So add to data model. So there's 1. 2. 3. So airport, destination, origin. And I'm going down here to tie them together. So here's the airport, destination. So I'm going to go from airport to airport destination and from airport to airport origin. So now they're tied together. So what we can do now is create a pivot table based on our three tables with airport here, and going to have the average of the taxi in for a particular airport, where it is the destination, and the average of the taxi out, where it is a destination. So this nearly answers the question. So we've got the average of the taxi in, we've got the average of the taxi out. Obviously, you can add one to the other to give your answer. But can we get this field inside our Power Pivot table? And we can. So if I manage the data model, I can go to the airport and add a new field. And this field is going to be total time. And I'm going to use a function in here called related table. So what this does is give me the entirety of, so I want the entirety of the destination taxi in and the entirety of the destination, the origin. There we are, taxi out. But I can't just leave them like this. As you can see, this leaves an error. So what I'm going to do on the outside is use another command, the average x. So average x takes a table and an expression. So I'm going to take the table, which is the destination, and then the expression, which is taxi in, and then add that, so close the bracket, to another average x. So we've got the related table there. The table is origin, and there is the field. So press enter, and there we have the total time. So now if I create this pivot table, so I now can have the airport, the total in time for the destination, and the total out time, and I'll average them. So those are 2 times, and then from the airport I'll now have the total time, so drag that in. So you can see 1635 plus 1261 equals 2896. So there we go. So I hope that was useful, and thank you very much for the question. Now, one final thing, you might have noticed that this grand total is a bit large. It's not actually acting as an average. So what we do there is change this from a sum to an average. There we go. Now, if you're following the expert Excel course and you're going, wow, that's way too hard, don't worry, you won't be required to know this level of detail about Power Pivot in the exam. If you're looking at the Power Pivot course that I've got, then hopefully you're already able to apply what you've learned and be able to go, yes, this is how you would do this. Average X, related table, and a comma. The interesting thing about this example is that you have to have the input table actually as 2 separate tables, a duplicate, because you can't input the same data in twice. So if it's from an external data source, then you've got to use 2 separate connections to import it. So thank you very much for the question, Valerie. And if anyone else has got any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for watching this. If you like this video, then please like it. And why not go to the comments where you can see links to my courses, which show you all about how to use Power Pivot and tables and everything that's great in Excel. Thank you very much.